Welcome to the Featured Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Jack.
And I'm Rick.
And today we are going to be talking about Am I Actually the Strongest? Which was a recommendation from Jeb. Thank you for the recommendation, Jeb.
Thank you. You're on a roll.
Indeed. If you want to hear the pre-show or anything like that, go ahead and check out our Patreon, patreon.com/featured anime podcast. Of course, all the information, all the affiliate links and everything like that is available in the show notes. Go ahead and check them out. Now, Am I Actually the Strongest is produced by Kodansha DX, Productions, Magnet, just to name a couple of them. Studio for it is Staple Entertainment, aired from July 2023 through October 2023. Genres for this are isekai, fantasy, adventure, and comedy. It's based off of a light novel. It's 12 episodes long. Now, Am I Actually the Strongest largely follows Haruto, who is a former NEET who gets reincarnated in a realm and is newborn as a newborn prince with overwhelming power, overwhelming everything, except when they read his magic level, he only shows to be 2, and he has no element, which is the basis for all magic in that world. This is nothing spoilery about any of that, just so you're all aware, as it's spelled out in the first 5 minutes. As a result of all this, though, and their technology or magic power not being able to see what his true power is, he is abandoned in the forest and thus gets adopted by someone else who is of a social status as well. His adopted, thanks to him being adopted, he does actually keep his powers hidden. And he also tries to satisfy his quiet life urge as well by doing everything he can to not go to school and stay home as much as possible. Along the way, he also navigates several other relationships that he develops. And he also has a sister that undergoes several assassination attempts and plots and everything like that as well, while at the exact same time blowing up his image more than he ever could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
This is, in so many words, my personal opinion is 12 episodes, is very, very short, very, very quick, and you will honestly go through the entire series a lot faster than you realize. I rewatched the last 3 episodes myself a couple of times because I thought I was missing something. It just went so quickly. And this
feels like that, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not the first time I've actually seen this. This is the second time I've seen it. So, which just speaks to how fast this truly went. Now, this has your standard MO for OP protagonist comes to another world, has way too much magic power or power in general, and just kind of meanders his way through everything, either avoiding any conflict or anything like that, and has, in my opinion, has little to no barrier in front of him for growth.
Nice play on words.
Thank you. I tried. Hard. I tried hard.
All right. So you hit the nail on the head when it comes to it's very tropey. Now, I felt this was a really, I don't know if it's a good mix, but it's a mix of Eminence in the Shadow and, oh man, I had it. It's not reincarnated as a slime, but what is it?
I wouldn't say that it's like that it's Eminence in Shadow because it
totally is.
And the reason why I say that is because in this world, he is massively overpowered. In Eminence in Shadow, he is not massively he is overpowered. There are people that are stronger than him, and he's even openly pointed that out. It's not a matter of his power being domineering over him. It's his technique that gives him the edge.
Okay, I'll accept that. But the reason I say that this is very similar to, it's a mix of, in another world with my smartphone.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So that it's a mix between those two in the sense, in my mind at least, in the sense of no matter what he says, even as a joke or as a throwaway comment, it turns out it's true. The kid can't, even his lies turn into truth. You know what I mean? So
No,
like really his alter ego about being a hero for justice came true. It was just
that's because the reason why that came true is because he was forced to have that come true, not because he lied. He had to make up an excuse and to keep up the charade so that way his little sister Char doesn't blab about it. He is forced to keep up the charade in general because of it. That's
all
not a
right, so
matter not a matter of him telling a lie that then becomes true. It's a matter of him telling a lie that he's forced to follow through with.
fair enough. All right. I will go to the second one where he gives an elaborate backstory for his about being a demon lord. Turns out that while he's not a demon lord per se, he is perceived as such by every demon available, plus Char, who has, for some reason, extreme sensitivity
Char.
to Char. That's what I said.
No,
Wait, what I say?
You're saying Char like charred. It's Char.
Char.
Yeah, short for Charlotte. Do you call her Charlotte? I mean, like, I've never heard it pronounced Charlotte.
You know, I grew up on Hooked on Phonics. I see it, I say it. CH is a choo-choo sound.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Char, yes.
Char. Okay. I don't know why. I always, when I was reading it and I read it Char, like Charmeleon.
Yeah.
So Char. So yeah, he wants to impress Char, but he also tells her that there's an evil organization out to no good and blah 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 blah. Yep, turns out that's true. Kinda.
However, they don't know the specifics of it, and there's always an evil organization, no matter what it is. As far as the demon lord, yeah, he lies about it, but he's not the demon lord.
No, he's not. But he essentially, every demon that he comes in contact with thinks he is because he's got the aura.
Yeah, he's got the magic power aura and the fact that he's so overwhelming in general across the board. But that's not him lying. He's just using it to his advantage, and it's not going to make him the demon lord because he's not. He is actually 100% human.
Yep. No, I agree with that.
Maybe.
But the demon lord is supposed to be reincarnate. You don't think so? He's got to be 100% human. He's got to be. He was born by two human. Well, no, because they do say there's a lineage of, yeah.
So he could have. However, we do know that the demon lord is there in that world.
Yes, we do.
And it's not him.
We meet them, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's not him. We meet them, I believe.
Yes, we do.
Interestingly enough.
Yeah.
But it's just
so
it's a nice, easy read.
It is.
But
watch.
It's slightly frustrating at times. Nice, easy watch, but it's slightly frustrating at times. For instance, were you ever annoyed with the goddesses?
That they barely showed a couple of times? Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, not only do they barely show them, at the first episode, you think they're going to be super overpowered and trumped up and super involved. Not overpowered, sorry, super involved. And then they show up like one more time after the goddess was like, oh my goodness, I made such a big mistake. I got it. Last time you see him, you're like, are you joking? Like,
no, that makes sense because they do that for a lot of other shows too.
The way that they were brought up, they were an information dump.
Yes.
Like, oh, I did this, and this.
Yeah,
so this is
the foundation.
Happening.
Yes. That they do for a lot of shows.
Yes, they do. I was expecting there to be more of it, more often. There wasn't, but it doesn't necessarily need it. But they were good comedic relief that they just kind of threw away.
I think,
and then
that was more along the lines of, again, not necessarily comedic relief, but again, an information dump to help explain why he's overpowered, why his level isn't really registering on anything, and why he doesn't show to have any magic elements. Just to help explain it. I think that's all that purely was. One, comedic relief, and two, to explain literally why it happened, why they set him up that way.
I can see that then. Okay. I don't know. It was just slightly frustrating that they had such a powerful unit for and not only explanation, but like Deus Ex Machina. I can fix this. I can give you this information. I can do this. That they just kind of tripped over, for lack of a better way to put it. That said, there was a few funny things in there that I don't understand why are in there. Like he comes in contact with a massive golem who has the voice of an adolescent woman. And the reason I say is you can't really hunker down an age to it, but essentially this massive gargantuan piece of clay confessed feelings, and then that was it. Okay, there was perfect opportunity, ample opportunity to make things awkward later on for comedic value that they just it's fine, got other stuff going on, don't need that. So I just felt like it was a waste. It was wasted opportunities in multiple areas. But I look at it and I see a mix between a very generic, overpowered character, but he does have a unique desire. I haven't seen this before. His whole persona, his whole everything is, what can I do so that I can just loaf around?
Yeah, he wants that quiet, lazy life. And he says this numerous times, to where what makes his magic so unique and interesting, aside from the fact that it's one, crazy powerful, and it's an ancient magic on top of that, it's that the limit to his magic and his power, the limitation for it is purely his imagination. Yeah.
He can fly, heal, attack, defend, make things, make animate and inanimate, animate and inanimate objects.
Connect to his old world and log into his old accounts.
Also, he's got internet somehow. He's got surveillance. He's got, and what took 2 weeks to learn how to connect to the internet in a world that doesn't have internet?
Well, I don't know if it took 2 weeks, but he did at some point finally be able to figure it out. But I don't remember the specific timeline that he gave. I just know that you don't see that until he's older and walking around rather than being a baby.
Mm-hmm. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can explain it without going into so much detail that you shouldn't even watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll say this. This show is definitely not one. If you're looking for a deep story, deep context, or anything like that, if you're looking for a lot of substance, this is not the story for you.
That's an understatement. Oh man, everything is fed to you on a silver platter, and it's such an easy watch. You can almost listen. But I do recommend, if you do plan on watching it, watch it. The animation style is quite funny, and lively. I did like the fact that our protagonist didn't just show aloof confidence and competence. Like, it'll work out for me. I'll figure out a way. And I figured out a way. I'm glad he didn't do that. I'm glad it seemed like he had to work for every step he took.
He did. Granted, he didn't. There were some points where he did kind of just wander or fall into it. The other side of it too is it's not the fact that he was a young kid that got reincarnated like so many of the isekais are. He is a 30-year-old man that got reincarnated, so he has a wealth of life experience and knowledge. Granted, most of it's probably useless, but he also has that to rely on. And then the fact that he also spent a lot of time with Char himself, just given the fact that she was learning and her intelligence is astounding, he was able to absorb and go along with that at the exact same time. Because when you see this too, when he takes a test, he's like, I'm going to shoot for 60. Not too bad, but not too good either. And it ends up being, even if you're this type of individual, you only ever barely reach 50, and he even goes above them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things he thinks he's undermining or that he's shooting low on are not. He's overachieving.
Yeah, he spites himself in the event. He works real hard to be real lazy and shoots himself in the foot.
Yeah.
Every time.
The other thing too is going back where he can create everything. He makes literal clones of himself, so that way he can send them to do things that he doesn't want to do, but they don't want to do it either because they are him. They're like, I don't want to do that. You're my clone. I made you do it. I don't want to do it. And so one of the more comedic things is some of his best friends or some of the people, his closest confidants, are quite literally himself.
Yeah. And I don't know how. They don't really explain it. It's a perfect copy with the exception of magic.
Yeah. Well, they do kind of talk about it. He did spend a lot of time, and I think when he had talked about it, he said he spent a lot of time, but the first copy that he made wasn't a copy that was knowledgeable. It was just basically a dumb puppet is what it was.
And when he finally got a live one, or one with intelligence, he basically had an existential crisis. What number am I?
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like, honestly, this show is not, and while it seemed like we did talk a fair about a lot, and you would think that there would have a lot more substance to this. Like there's going to be a lot deeper, more story and world building and everything like that. And it really, genuinely, there's not. This at its core, it's just more of a comedy and fun show to watch, something to just kind of flow through, and you'll easily just forget about it. Or if you're looking for something that's generally a palate cleanser and something that you can easily get through, this would be a show for you. This is not a lot of thought.
This would 100% do that.
Yeah, there's not a lot of thought that needs to go into this. There's not a whole bunch that you're going to typically miss. And in all honesty, if you feel like you missed something, you more than likely didn't.
Yeah, it's, how can I say this without being a jerk? Because I liked it, but I didn't. And I wanted more than I got. And I was genuinely hoping for a second season given its ending. But everywhere I look, it says that it's confirmed to have one season.
Yeah.
That's it. And the reason that it only gets one is due to the lack of popularity on its conception. On its initial viewing, there wasn't enough hubbub about it to generate desire for a second season. I was like, oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, no.
And I kind of understand it because it's, while yes, all the episodes are different, they're kind of the same. Like the only thing he's trying to do is nothing. And then he's like, I want to do things to make my sister happy. And then it was along the lines of, well, I gave her a surveillance camera, so she's watching me almost 24/7. So now I have to do good just to keep up the facade. And then he eventually gets to the point where he's like, yeah, I don't want to go back to my old life because it was lonely. But now I have all these friends and they still leave me alone, which is awesome. And you're like, okay, so zero character development or minuscule amounts of character development.
I mean, like you see,
and then he follows it up with.
I was going to say, no, you see the character development because if he was truly a shut-in, in all honesty, he didn't have to stay there. He could have, like, after he was able to walk around and fend for himself, he could have just dipped out. Same thing when his adoptive father got hurt and injured and everyone else, he could have easily just left them alone and not cared. He could have let him get killed or anything like that. There is character development, I would argue. It's just he doesn't notice it until later on.
Yeah, that makes sense. But he says it so nonchalantly, like it's one of those, oh yeah, it's natural progression. Yeah. Whereas the reason that he was even chosen was, now correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he chosen because he was the saddest of them all? Like he was leading such a sad and depressing life that the gods felt pity on him and chose him to go somewhere else and live life to the fullest?
I think so. No, wait, no, I
No?
don't believe so.
Why was he chosen? I was going under the assumption he was chosen because his life sucked.
Yes, if you phrase it like that, yes, yeah, because his life sucked.
But
not for anything in particular. I think what it was they just felt bad for him, and that was the only reason why.
Yeah.
They're like, oh,
they felt bad for him when he was living his best life, in his own opinion.
yeah, they're like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna do this because I pity you. I'm going to reincarnate you. Please don't do it again. I think if I remember correctly, that's basically the summary of what it was. It's like, oh,
it was really close.
Yeah. I feel sorry for you.
Now,
please don't relive your life exactly the same.
Oh man. Yeah. No, but the good news is like it's funny. It's upbeat. It's definitely something that it's fun to watch. I wouldn't watch it with other people because there's some fairly risque moments that of course someone is going to walk in and only see that on your screen and they're like, what's good? And it's really difficult to explain without explaining the whole episode. So
no, it's not. All you have to do is look at them and go, it's anime. What do you expect? And they'll immediately look at you in the eye and go, touche, sir, and move on with your life.
That's one way to look at it. So again, I think we come to a spot where anything else is just not only spoiler territory, it'll remove the reason to watch it.
I honestly would have to agree. There's a lot in here that you're just going to end up. Not only that, I feel like we would repeat ourselves. We would end up repeating ourselves several times. And I don't want to do that. So on a scale of up to 10, sir, how would you rate this?
For me, I did enjoy it. It was junk food. It was glorious, easily consumable junk food. And for that, I give it a 7. Were there flaws? You bet. Was there I'd say a lack of accountability, but there really wasn't any need for it. But I mean, it was fun. It was enjoyable. It was something I liked. It's something I'd watch again because it's so easy to do. And the comedic timing, let's say they made 10 jokes. The comedic timing for about 6 of them were on point in my mind. Okay. So, yep. And you?
5.
Woo! Middle of the road. Why?
Middle of the road. No real strong character development. Story, while it was fast, was very shallow. I do wish there was more. The comedy was good. Did forget. I did remember seeing it. I couldn't remember what it was about, which just does not boast. Or it's like, oh, I know I've seen this. It sounds very familiar. I know I've seen it. I just don't remember anything about it. And then I started watching it and I go, oh yeah, no, I for sure have seen this. So it didn't have the kind of staying power that you typically would expect. And it's not like I watched it when it was coming out. I had actually watched it fairly recently too.
Oh.
So, which doesn't
that's even more reason. That's even more reason to give it a higher score. You could watch it over and over again with fresh eyes.
That's why I'm giving it a lower score. Ending was just kind of there. You also have a couple things that ended up happening that you don't get any resolution for, and just makes it honestly worse, in my opinion. And they do a lot of groundwork and lead up for a lot of the other stuff that ends up happening in the show. Again, no real resolution. You have a lot of ambiguity that goes along with it too at the exact same time, which just does not help it out. But the fact that it is a easy to watch show, the fact that it is something that you could easily get through, and it's something that is kind of a palate cleanser, I would say, yeah, that's why it's out of 5. Next week.
Fair enough.
we're going to be watching Love Flops, which is a recommendation from Hi Honey, I'm Jeb. Thank you for the recommendation. If you feel like we did too much justice, not enough justice or anything like that, feel free to let us know. All the contact information is available in the show notes, as well as on our website at featuredanimepodcast.com. And then, of course, if you want to help support us, help us grow like that, you can always go to patreon.com/featuredanimepodcast. $8 a month will get you access to that bonus content. And then we have affiliate links for Crunchyroll as well, so that way you can go support us and check us out. Check out the anime and shows and get yourself a discount on the store that they have there. And then also you can go to shop.featuredanimepodcast.com and help support us like that. And then let's not forget Tokyo Treat. Get yourself some nice, wonderful, delicious treats. And of course, you can also get yourself $5 off that very first box, along with our affiliate link and coupon code Featured Anime. And until next time, I'm Jack.
And I'm Rick. And we'll see you next time.